Hi, everyone. Hey, so this is the weekly scope of January 19th to the 26th, actually 25th, but um, typos there, sorry. So take a screenshot because I'm going to be changing the screen. I'm not going to be having a generic intro. I'm going to just jump in straight into the signs and taking a screenshot for you to follow along with me or um, or you can compare it to your natal chart after, whichever works for you. So we are going to get into, we're going to start with Aries. All right. Hi, Aries. Okay, so this video is your weekly scope for January 19th to the 25th. This week has some heavy duty, tense aspects leading to a dynamic turnaround regarding an ongoing story from back in October, November last year, which relates to a breakthrough that you had um, about it or with it last week. Now, there is also something new that you have started or are getting busier with in regards to a friend, friends, or a group. Now, people politics is involved here within this group or friend, and that will be illuminated early this week, but we'll talk about that a little later. Some of you also have started a new relationship, or it could be a project that you may be working on in secret or behind the scenes. Or it could be about the past. This new relationship might be related to this new circle of friends that I said that you're busy with, or it could be completely separate. There's many different areas with many different scenarios, so I'm trying to cover most bases. Now, first, in regards to this ongoing story that started back in October last year, October, November. This is in regards to a home, family, maybe your parents, and in particular your mother or a matriarchal figure, and maybe another female. Or it could be about a living situation. And there was also some sort of a codependent relationship that you wanted freedom from or from within. And I say that because, many Aries are very happy in their relationships. But there was this freedom you were seeking within the relationship. Those that wanted complete freedom from this relationship, you either severed that relationship, separated from it, or it has changed to something else. Now, your living situation could also be a neighborhood, neighbors, or roommates you're having issues with, and you're wanting to maybe move, or it looks like you're waiting on, some of you might be waiting on a sale to buy maybe a home or move. Or it could be just a mundane home renovation project that is taking way too long and is driving you bonkers. Uh, this this story will not end until March, April, with July starting the biggest and best home and family situation that you could hope for. So you just have to work on these snags. It's Mars. He's going back and forth. He's in retrograde now, but he's going back and forth over these degrees because there's something there that needs a resolution before Mars can go forward. And Mars is your ruling planet. So when it goes backwards, you do really get frustrated because there's a slowdown. There's an introspection of some sort. And particularly whenever planets go retrograde or go back and forth, they're bringing us back information that we didn't have when it first happened. Okay? So last week, there was some sort of revelation. Um, Maybe regarding surprising information that may have come about through like a heated argument or an outburst of some kind, which actually made you realize something that you either ignored or didn't know about from back in October, November, because it was a full moon, and then there was oppositions with Mars and Cancer, and they also triggered the degrees of the super full moon in your sign on October 17th. And boy, that was a doozy. Thanks a lot, Aries. Yeah, that was pretty explosive. So, in any case, this revelation, and it could, like I said, have started as a tense argument or something like that, created a breakthrough, both for you and others, leading to some healing, um, understanding, or a compassion of some sort. Now, this has set up some more discussions and maybe arguments to be had this week. But knowing what you know now regarding last week and the discussions taking place this week, this will actually all lead to a turning point or a turnaround. And we're already starting to feel this, but because we do have a last quarter moon on Tuesday. So we're already starting to feel that something is coming to a close, something is over. Again, it'll be some kind of a turnaround. Now, the other story is for you is in regards to friends, groups, a circle, um, maybe a friend. Now, most of you have severed friends from the past, or you might have exited a circle, um, and that has set you up for this new encounter, or fairly new encounter, because you might have started this friendship early last year, or definitely the end of last year around November. And this group will empower you in innovative ways, creative ways, um, and that is being illuminated early in the week as well with the sun in Aquarius. But there is people politics here, or should I say, women politics. Um, so let me explain what's going on with that. We do have the asteroids Apollo, Juno, and Vesta in Scorpio, and Scorpio is making aspects to Aquarius. Scorpio, by the way, is your eighth house of intimacy, secrets, the past, joint finances, um, the mortgage, inheritance, and all that. Um, and with these three asteroids here, it's signifying something like a leader, um, and I'm doing air quotes, and two women vying for his attention. So, how this may play out for you, Aries, is in regards to this group, the circle, there is a leader, again, air quotes, and it's usually a male, he is taking a liking to you, or he's sort of taking you under his wings, showing you something, trying to empower you or make you a leader. Uh, and there may be jealousy here, some kind of possessiveness or jealousy. So, um, with Aquarius, yes, it is all about the good for all, okay? It is the concentration on that. But Aquarius also has this pecking order, this hierarchy. And the group, the good of all, is the main focus. However, um, if you're not as good alone as you are within a group, so that each in this group, each person has their own worth and their own personality, obviously. So it is about keeping the balance of each person, being personable with each individual, keeping that balance while maintaining the integrity of the group. Because the challenge is with Pluto, especially being in Aquarius, it's if one falls, everyone falls. If one is against you, then they'll all be against you. So that will be the learning curve. And like I said, it is as much as it is for the good of all, it is also the one on one that needs to be nurtured and balanced. And you've had that experience for the past 18 months with the nodal axes in your sign and your opposite sign of Libra, which is the scale of relationships. And hopefully, you have learned how to be within a relationship, um, but also have your independence. So try to use those lessons within this group. That there seems to be this eyebrow lift somewhere, okay? And again, you'll probably see it. It'll be because it's the sun in Aquarius, so you'll probably see that power dynamic, that control issue or assertion of power early in the week. Now, keeping in this theme, sticking to this theme, and also regarding someone you may have met that's new, and it could have been someone online, and they can be either a foreigner or someone maybe distant, at a distance, because what I see here is a lot of online texting. It could be that, or maybe they're not far away, but that's how you're communicating mostly. Or it could be someone you know that is something of like a shoulder to cry on, or you them. It could be that. Whichever it is, I just want you to be aware of an aspect that we had on the 17th, just a few days ago. Uh, Juno in Scorpio uh, did oppose, I'm sorry, Uranus in Taurus at 23 degrees. Again, that degree is coming up regarding that full moon in your sign, and with Mars and the family situation. So this new person that you've met, or this other person that you're conversing with, and by the way, you're keeping this close to your chest, so it might be behind the scenes, or you just don't want it out just yet. With Juno and Scorpio opposing Uranus and Taurus, there could be, well, Juno and Scorpio is intense. Juno is about commitment, but she is also about jealousy and possessiveness. And Scorpio is already that. So Juno and Scorpio is about being really serious, but taking it to another level. Um, and same goes with possessiveness and control. It is about taking it to another level of revenge. um, and with this new person that you're talking, or the other friend that you already know, this is quickly developing into something else. Okay, um, you're enjoying this thing, but if it's a new person, just do a little more digging, or ask more questions. Okay, um, and with this other, or if it's a person you already know, if they are partnered, or if you are partnered, just be careful that, again, people politics doesn't roll in here somewhere, because with possessiveness and jealousy, and the very intense sign of Scorpio, and secrets and things like that, you just don't want to get into that mess. So that's my 2 cents. I'm just making you aware. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer or poop on your parade, but as an astrologer, when I see aspects like this, I just want to just make you aware of it. Not saying that you can change it, because I've said before, I think predictive astrology is not for you to change it, because you are where you need to be. It's about understanding some intense feelings, or arguments, or things like that, to help you better um, take it in, or how to deal with it. Okay, it's not the problem that is the problem. It is how we deal with it. Because Juno will go retrograde, and it will again oppose Uranus and Taurus on May 4th at 26 degrees. And it's coinciding with the ending of Uranus's tour of Taurus. And Uranus is the planet of shock and surprise. So, with this second opposition on May 4th, the challenges that came up on the 17th will be revisited. And we're nearing the end of Uranus and Taurus. So, some commitments will break, they'll break apart. They cannot withstand this. Um, Again, some, not all. If there is something that is about control or possessiveness or something, it will end here on May. Um, Now, Taurus is also your second house of job, income, and your value system. Okay, and you've had a roller coaster ride here since, I believe, 2018. It's been some sort of a feast or famine with income or money or a job. Now, many of you will go on to have a job or a career in the healing, some sort of a healing uh, career or service of healing, or something associated with spirituality. And most will it'll be like a very creative, inspiring theme here, and it can be, yeah, healing or spiritual, but there's a unique esoteric essence to it, and it will be very fulfilling. Some of you may have already started, um, or have started, maybe if you're younger, taking classes in that field, or you could have started a business of some sort, uh, and you have this other job that pays the bills. What Juno opposing Uranus and Taurus in regards to your job may mean is that you do not want to commit to this current job you have because you want to change it. Or maybe you're wanting some kind of a move, an upgrade, or maybe you're discussing a pay raise, and maybe your company is not committing to it. It can be something like that if it's in regards to your job and income. The second house also can have, also denotes a marriage. So because it's your values as well. Um, I'm just looking at the chart. Have you seen? Do you see when a dog like tilts his head? I'm like trying to look at the chart sideways. um, so yeah, if it is about a marriage, there's some sort of a commitment issue here, either from you or the other. If it is about an engagement or a marriage, the only thing I'll say here in finality is. Because Uranus is the planet of shock and surprise, and as you have well known, it's been like a feast or famine roller coaster thing. I just want you to adjust your finances to account for a couple more surprises regarding your job or income. I mean, it can be about your value system or, like I said, this commitment. But if it is just about income, and I know you guys have struggled a lot with income, just don't make any large purchases or things like that. Just account for a couple more surprises is what I'm trying to say. But come May, June, that instability regarding your finances and your job will end. That is over. Bye bye, and that's good news for you, Aries. I know. Okay, so those are the themes, and I'm just gonna quickly just um, go over some aspects. So, like I said, early in the week on Monday, we have it's inauguration day. So we do have Moon in Libra, square Mercury in Capricorn. Then the Moon will square Mars retrograde in Cancer at 24 degrees. Again, that those degrees regarding something back in October, November. And then the Moon will then oppose Chiron in Aries. Um, so what this is emotions, feelings about a relationship, about a balance of a relationship. Um, there's discussions here, but these discussions are somewhat um, maybe hurtful or stern or cold. Um, and it might be coming from your family, maybe a mother figure, maybe a wife. Um, and with opposing Chiron in your sign, it's bringing up a wound, a past hurt regarding maybe your reputation or your status from the past. I know many of you older ones have had a betrayal of some kind, of a relationship that was something of a triangle situation, and that was a very important relationship for you. Many of you will probably say it was the love of your life, the one that got away, or something like that. And that has been what you have been trying to heal up from. And you have, for the most part, it's set aside, it's set in the back. But like I said, with the turnaround happening this week via the universe, is because we need to put the past behind us because these new shifts are coming in hard and fast. So yeah, on Monday it's a tough day. There's tense, cold arguments um, from a family or regarding a family, and it's regarding your reputation or status or career, and it does bring up an old wound, a hurt here. The Sun in Aquarius also will semi-square Saturn in Pisces. Saturn has been restricting your alone time, or uh, if you're doing anything behind the scenes, um, or if it's about the past, it's been restricting you in some sort of a way. Now with the Sun in Aquarius, and it's all about these groups and friends and um, um, friendships and things like that. Um, Wanting to take you, uplift you through this group or through this friendship. And Aquarius is fast. Saturn is still holding on to you, trying to ground you and saying, not just yet. Just be careful. Uh, there is a grand square in cardinal signs here, and you are one of the cardinal signs. It's Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. All four of you will feel this very intensely. And for you, you will feel it in these three areas today: your relationships, your career and status, and your family and living situation. Um, but the other saving grace this day is later on, Cupido will station direct in Gemini. So Jupiter is in Gemini, and you have had several opportunities that you may have started, or maybe one really nice opportunity starting last year regarding a neighborhood, or commuting, or social media, or it could have been about a sibling or cousin. Um, but or a car. Maybe you're wanting a car, and then something happened where it stalled, or you put it on the back burner, and that was because Jupiter started retrograding. Um, but Cupido here, ahead of Jupiter to turn direct, Cupido first turns direct, so there will be passion that will be ignited in you regarding what you started in your Gemini related house last year, and it stalled. Um, and this passion leads to when Jupiter goes direct, you will grab onto that and start working on that. With Jupiter, just remember it is the planet of luck and expands. And I have to mention the other side of Jupiter is if there is a problem here, it will expand problems too. So if you have been having problems here, um, just be careful that you don't go full force in it because well, Jupiter expanding problems is because it knows it's not good for you. So if you have any arguments with siblings and it's blowing up, just be careful with that. Otherwise, you will have a couple more opportunities before Jupiter leaves Gemini by June, July, I think. So it is good. So that was inauguration day. Now Tuesday is another Another really tense day. Early on, we have Mercury, this time in Capricorn, squaring Chiron in Aries. So, another discussion regarding your career status or reputation that's triggering this old wound, this hurt. Um, then, then the Sun in Aquarius conjuncts Pluto in Aquarius, and this can play in two ways. One, with this conjunction, the Sun is powerful, and Pluto is definitely very powerful. And like I said, Aquarius is very uplifting. Uh, Aquarius is an air sign, and you're a fire sign, so that just ignites. So maybe this empowerment or this leadership position, mm, uh, it just uplifts you in so many ways, and you can sense the power that you can have. Um, Maybe an innovative idea is illuminated here, and you can see the power. And it might, for some of you, it might even scare you. Um, the other way it can play out with a conjunction is it can be very intense, where there's power and control or an assertiveness here. And again, that might play out with what I told you about this jealousy aspect within the group, and you needing to balance all these relationships um, individually while still thinking about the whole uh, group. And this is really early on. I mean, you'll you learn how to be that way. That's what Aquarius will be teaching you. But this might be your first, let's say, Pluto pop quiz. And when I say it might be this day regarding the people or women politics is because right after that, the moon enters Scorpio. And then the moon in Scorpio will square Pluto in Aquarius. So, yeah, feelings of possessiveness, jealousy, or some intense um, feeling, or maybe about the past or secrets um, that Pluto is bringing up in order for you to deconstruct that. Because remember, Pluto destroys, so you can transform. To deconstruct that, and then so that you can be uplifted with Aquarius. Now, the moon in Scorpio also will square the sun in Aquarius. So, whatever those feelings are regarding this power play, it is also illuminated for you and everyone to see that tension. This Aries can also play out as in taking the initiative, putting yourself out there, being assertive, showing that you can handle this power, um, because you are a firebrand, and Mars, the god of war, is your ruler. So that can work out in that way. Um, and then again, we have Saturn in Pisces semi-squaring Pluto in Aquarius. Again, Saturn is trying to restrict something that you're working on in secret or regarding a past wound or issue. But it's just trying to slow you down into rushing into this people politics thing. It's trying to give you a solid foundation before you can go through these tests and trials with Pluto. All right, so let me see. Okay, so here on the 23rd, Thursday, I think this is where your turning point is. Okay, because we have Mars in Cancer sextiling Uranus in Taurus, so something about your family, home, and something about your value system and your income. It can be just mundane, again, about a renovation, or it can be about your values um, and coming head to head with a family or a mother figure. But it's a sextile, so there's an understanding here, another realization, another layer. Okay, um, confirming that breakthrough last week. But then we have Mercury and Capricorn again opposing Mars and Cancer, and this can be tough. This can be arguments. This can be reprimand. Um, there is a discussion again about your career, about your status, about your reputation, and you wanting to shed the old and maybe change something about your status. Um, but there's an opposition with your family, your your home, or your mother. It is again, well, after that, Mercury in Capricorn will trine Uranus in Taurus. And all these aspects I told you are at 23 degrees. It all goes back to last October, November, and last week's revelation. So, yes, this day is the turning point. This is where you close the books. This is where you turn around. This story is not over yet. I want to warn you about that because we still have Mars retrograde in Cancer. You still do not have the final piece of the puzzle. Um, when it goes direct at the end of February in Cancer, then you will know the full story, and there will be definitely progressive discussions and movement regarding this. Um, so I just wanted to let you know. But there is a turnaround here on Thursday, so pay attention this day. Um, it'll be something like when you look back on the future, you will say, "Oh yeah, it was on that day, that week, that month that changed things." Okay, um, and it is Cancer, a water sign, so there is some kind of healing, nurturing, some kind of compassion. I'm just looking at my notes. And then at the end, almost 11:30 wee hours of the night here, the moon enters Sagittarius and falls perfectly in line with this turnaround and this realization. Then we become hopeful. Your feelings are ignited again. Um, there's some kind of optimism. And then Friday, Mercury in Capricorn will oppose Mars in Cancer. Well, this is the ongoing thing that we had the day before. I think I might have just, let's see, Mercury. Yeah, it's just a repeat of that. So the dynamic energy of Thursday, we are still communicating and processing. Remember, the moon changed signs into Sagittarius. So our feelings have to process this too, but they're taking an optimistic look at it. Um, and that is why you have people sometimes repeating the same thing over the next day or the day after that and so on. It is because the moon changes signs every 2 or so days, and our feelings change with the moon, so we have to process things. So yeah, that's another clue in astrology. Take notice of people who repeat things like this. You will know that those people's moon is heavily influenced. um, maybe maybe it's in their third house of thinking and communication. um, those people can be, most likely they are female, but they can be apprehensive, anxious, or have a fear of some kind, and need nurturing or assurance. Anyway, that's just a thingy. And then Saturday, the moon in Sagittarius will sextile Pluto and the sun in Aquarius. Hooray! Yippee! So your feelings are really fired up here, very optimistic, um, because you're really gung ho about this group or this friend, and this empowerment. Maybe you took the assertion uh, in in putting yourself out there, and you got some kind of a praise, and now you're feeling really good about it. Also, on Saturday, the moon in Sagittarius will oppose Jupiter in Gemini, and this can be a good opposition. Um, Sagittarius is your ninth house of foreigners, long distance travel, higher education, mm, publishing, and the World Wide Web, and Gemini is your communication and commuting house. So again, that one friend that I told you about that might be at a distance or a foreigner, um, you might be talking about a hopeful situation regarding this group, um, that is somehow empowering you with these genius ideas. I think this opposition might be good because we have the sextile to Pluto and the Sun in Aquarius. Remember, some oppositions are good and some are, I'm doing air quotes, bad. If it is a negative opposition, it's just something regarding higher education, long distance travel, um, foreigners, publishing, um, that your local commute or your communication uh, needs to be elevated to another level so you can accomplish this. And also, I wanted to mention the asteroid talent sextiles Neptune and Pisces on this day. And this helps with really creative talents, spiritual talents, and talents of helping. So, yeah, this sits really well with you. You might have had this ingenious, creative group suggest something about your career, and you're feeling really optimistic. And with this talent, sextile Neptune and Pisces, yeah, I think you guys are going to get into some kind of a healing, um, spiritual career. I mean, it doesn't have to be that, but it has a theme of helping here. Um, and that's basically it for the week. Let me see what I missed because I thought 20. Oh, yeah, the 25th, Saturday, sorry. It's Venus in Pisces, it trines Mars in Cancer. Nice. See, this is all ending really, really nicely. Um, Something behind the scenes, something about the past is really, there's a romanticization here, and it actually sits really well with a home and family situation. Venus can bring money, fortune, and fame, and Pisces is oddly enough associated with money as well. So you might be working on something behind the scenes that is bringing in some money and solving this home and family situation. Look to that. All right, Aries, I hope you found this informative or entertaining. If you did, please give me a like, and I will talk to you soon. Hi, Taurus. Hope you're doing well. So this video is your weekly scope for January 19 to the 25th. And I don't usually do weekly scopes, but I decided to start this week because of the intensity that's going on this week. And hopefully I'll keep it up. But yeah, that's why I'm doing this, starting this week. Now, I have to admit to you guys, I don't know why I find your sign so difficult. I mean, not that I don't know what's going on or how to explain it, but because there's so much going on with you, especially Uranus, the planet of shock and surprise in your sign, and two of the most chaotic houses activated for you. Chaotic, like as in everyday things happening, and they're rubbing up against all these other areas of your life. That that condensing all that into like a weekly 5 minute or 10 minute scope is, I just don't think it does you really a lot of service, because I'm not the type of astrologer that gives you like what the planets are doing and then give you a vague theme and go into counseling regarding psychology and all that. I don't do that. If that's what you're looking for, 5 minute brief thing, I'm not your astrologer. I do like to take each sign and contemplate the different scenarios that may be going on, so you have something to bite on. And yeah, maybe I'll counsel on some things to do and not to do, but um, I do like to give you more real life scenarios so you can relate. So what I'm trying to say, with all that's going on with you and with this really heavy duty intense energy this week, and my style of doing horoscopes, this might not be your typical 10-minute video. So bear with me with that. All right, so let's just get straight into this. So first off, the theme for this week is a turnaround, a turning point. And what triggers this is the events of last week. There was a surprising revelation last week regarding the events of October, November last year. And that was Uranus that triggered some sort of surprise or an information we didn't have. And since Uranus is in your sign, you could have, during a heated argument, blurted out something that was shocking, which led to some type of a realization and a breakthrough. And there was then healing and a compassionate understanding of something. Or because Uranus was activated, it might have been somebody else saying something surprising um, to you about the way you are, or regarding your image, or how you're seen, or maybe your profile online, that developed into a heated argument and then a breakthrough. So it could have been one of those two scenarios. And this thing about what happened in October last year, and I'm not going to go into full detail. There's many videos that I've done that you can look up and get an idea of what happened. But I'll just briefly say that the culprit was Mars, Pluto, and the super full moons in Aries and your sign. So Mars is in Cancer, and Mars is retrograde right now. But back in October, there were heated. You had some kind of an urgency, and since it is your third house of communication, commuting, the neighbors, siblings, social media, and things like that, you might have been the one who was communicating something, but with a heat or urgency, or it could have been in anger, and that might have, ruffle some feathers. Cancer also rules the home and family, a living situation, or the mother, or a matriarchal figure. So there might have been some heated debates regarding your mother, or mother-in-law, or your aunt or something. But there was that, and because the third house also governs siblings, Cancer is your third house. It might have been something about your siblings. Maybe there was an argument there and your mother was involved, or maybe another female was involved. Whatever happened, there was a fallout, some kind of a fallout that happened then. And I'll just end with this super full moons. There were some endings, separations, and all that. And you also, the other houses that are activated is your scheduling, your routine, your health, taking care of someone, as well as um, your alone time. You're wanting this alone time that your schedule and routine was just not accommodating to that. And that could be many scenarios. I mean, you could be working from home and you have children, and in the middle of a Zoom call or something, a baby cries, something like that. Plus, you had your partnership house activated, so and there were some issues there. So it might have been that your partner was not easing your schedule, uh, and because also he or she may have had their own personal situation with a parent or a family or a sibling. Um, the other part of your chart that was activated is friendships, friends. You've been having really a tough time with friends and friendships. You've lost many friends, or they've just seem to have drifted away, and you're feeling really isolated and lonely regarding friends. So that's all I'm going to say. And we're going to just jump into this week. Let me just go through my notes. Okay, so I covered that. Um, okay, so this week we do have Apollo, Vesta, and Juno. They're all in Scorpio, and I think they came in a little bit earlier. But Scorpio is your seventh house of partners and open enemies. So this is about a man, and he's some type of a leader or powerful, and two women are vying for his attention. Simply said, this can mean different things to different Taurians, depending on your natal chart and where you are in life. Um, Again, if you are partnered and you're solid as a rock, this triangle situation could be regarding maybe mothers or mother-in-laws or prominent female figures in maybe your partner's life that your partner is trying to sort out. If it is a business partner, it could be maybe you're adding an investor or a partner and you're just trying to decide between two others. Or if it's about your job, it could be that you and another are trying for the same job. Now, a friend can be a partner, a sibling could be a partner, and maybe it is your sibling and they're seeking your advice in regards to maybe another female, and or two other females or something of that nature. Okay, I'll leave you people that are solid as a rock uh, regarding that because there should be no insecurity issues here. Now, the other thing is we had an aspect of Juno. It was on the 17th. Juno opposed Uranus in your sign on the 17th. Now, Juno is about commitment, and Juno in Scorpio is serious. But Juno also brings up the issues of jealousy and possessiveness. Um, so again, Juno being in Scorpio and Scorpio being a really intense sign, jealousy and possessiveness can take it to another level. um, another level of revenge, let's say, if they don't get their way. Um, so there was an issue about commitment, and it could have been in regards to some type of security or insecurity, and there was a theme maybe of jealousy or possessiveness. Now you are a fixed sign, Taurus, and you can be very possessive, and you do jealousy as well. And well, what I'm trying to struggle with is to say it in a diplomatic way is that uh, with Juno and the issue of possessiveness and jealousy, and in the very intense sign of Scorpio that does revenge really well, and you being a fixed sign, and you do rule the second house of income, values, and things like that. So you are all about security, and of course, the negative side of that is insecurity. So with this intense aspect, I just don't want you to premeditate any revenge scenarios. Just be careful of that, okay? Don't go there because you can do revenge really well. So if you are partnered and having issues, this again could be about a mother-in-law, or a female figure, maybe a sister or cousin in your partner's life, um, or a brother and their wife. That you seem to see them as you against them, or because of this commitment thing, what you're trying to see is you and your partner versus them, because you have had Pluto go through your ninth house of foreigners, foreign people, um, or people that are from another country or land, but who do share your same language. But there's some type of foreign thing going on. And with this scenario, that's why I'm saying you might see it like you versus them, or you and your partner versus them, something like that. Now, especially if your partner is somehow helping them financially. This is maybe a mother or a sister or a sibling. There might be, that in the mix because your joint finances was also highlighted. See, that's why I'm saying so much is going on with you. Um, and, and like I said, you're all about security. And when joint finances are in the picture, you can be possessive about that. Um, and with Mars in your communication sector, you might have come out um, sounding like you were against them, for lack of a better words. So you've had this issue going on. Or it could be an ex, yours or theirs, and there could be alimony or child support in the picture affecting joint finances and their communication with ex and with their ex or yours. And maybe that's where the jealousy and possessiveness comes in, a feeling of insecurity. And yes, of course, this could be an outright affair. He, she, or you could be the other woman or man or what have you. And yeah, nobody should tolerate an affair, but I'm trying to stress the point of the possessive jealousy feeling that's going on here. In either case, like I mentioned, Juno in Scorpio opposed Uranus in your sign. Okay, um, so something about a commitment that maybe you were you were trying to pin down a partner regarding a commitment, or they could have been trying to pin you down for a commitment um, on January 17th, and it was at 23 degrees. So that is a crucial degree that happened with the whole fallout back in October, November with Mars and with the super full moon in Aries. And Aries, by the way, is your 12th house of the past secrets, of hidden things. So that might have triggered an insecurity about a past relationship that might have been the same scenario. So, with knowing what I've already mentioned and whatever ending that occurred in October, November, this has to do with healing your psyche. Um, Maybe you experienced some shock or trauma in the past, and it's triggering this insecurity or jealousness or whatever it is, where you're drawing in these triangle relationships. Like I said, it could be an affair or it could be something else, but in your psyche, it's triggering it, and that's what you need to revisit and take a bird's eye view. Which Neptune and Saturn, when they go into Aries, they'll be helping you release um, that past thing. If you are single, this opposition could actually be really good, as it may bring in a strong man or woman who he or she may have a single mom or sister that they're taking care of, and could have gone through the same thing that you've gone through, and it'll be some kind of healing, nurturing thing for you. The only reason I'm harping, and I'm most likely sure no other astrologers do harping on this, but I am because I know where you are and what's coming up for you. So while retrograde, because Juno will retrograde in Scorpio, while retrograde, Juno will oppose your sign, Uranus in your sign again on May 4th at 26 degrees. And that is coinciding with Uranus leaving your sign. Um, and Uranus does things in shocking and surprising ways, especially when it's exiting. There's one big hurrah explosion that happens. So with Juno opposing Uranus in your sign again on May 4th at 26 degrees, some commitments may break apart with this aspect. It's just way too powerful, and they'll break apart if there is this jealousy, possessiveness, um, insecurity issue that's not resolved, and especially with Mars in your communication sector. You have to be really careful with how you communicate, or communication is two ways with how you take in the communication. It is the third house is also how you think. So if there is this ongoing insecurity, jealousy thing on May 4th with that opposition, it's just too powerful. The commitment will break apart. Um, if, however, and it's not for all of you guys, I'm not, because I don't want you to like get these future aspects and think that you can prevent them in some way. If it needs to break apart, it will. If it doesn't, nothing can break it apart. Okay, but I'm just giving you the scenario. All right, so yeah, in any case, like I've said before, it depends on where these planets and signs occupy and degrees occupy in your natal chart, as well as there are different Taurians at different times of their lives, um, because this could be maybe about money, security, and leaving a job where your joint finances might take a hit, and that's where the argument is. Because I do see for you this huge career shift that's going to be very, very empowering for you. It's going to boost you to an enormous leadership position, and money and job for you guys are really important. So that's why I, I try to give you different scenarios, and that's why I take a little longer with these scopes. Now, do listen to your rising sign as well and your moon sign to get a clearer picture if you're unclear. All right. So I covered that. Mm-mm. Oh yeah, there's also a lot of aspects to Chiron. Chiron is in Aries, and that is your 12th house. So what I said about this turning point, this shift, is because there's a few aspects to Chiron this week, and Chiron is about a past wound, um, you know, and it could be about this particular thing. So that's why I'm saying it's, like I said, a shift is because there's going to be some kind of a healing going on, and and pay attention to these aspects to Aries, because that's going to give you a clue of what your new journey will be with Neptune and Saturn in Aries. Okay. All right, and let's see. Oh, and when I mentioned regarding the chaos of having to take care of something or someone, working behind the scenes diligently, or wanting your alone time and your schedule and routine being not ideal, or it could be about a health issue. If you're a student, that makes perfect sense too. It might be about your classes. Maybe you're at a really huge campus and you're studying, and it could be whatever it is. So that's why I'm saying I like to do different scenarios, account for, because there's millions, well, there's billions of people, so there's millions of Taurians. So I'd like to account for some major themes for each Taurian. All right. The only thing I do advise, but in regards to what happened back in October, November, and I'm saying there is a shift going on here this week, a turning point. But I don't want you to. This week, with this shift, with whatever you're leaving behind, whatever we're putting to bed, it's not the end of the story, because Mars is retrograde. Mars will turn direct in at the end of February. March, April will go into Leo, and that's your home and family. So you still are missing that final piece of the puzzle. What planets do when they go back and forth, they bring us back information that we either ignored or weren't aware of. So it's not the ending of the story. And if you listen to my October or November scope, I did mention that with Mars being here, slow down, don't rise up to the heat, because if there's an ending, there will be some kind of resurrection in spring. And this is another confirmation. This is not the ending of the story. But a major part of it here is put to bed, is put to rest. That's why we have this shift. Almost something like a halfway point through it. Okay. The only other thing I wanted to point out is, because it is in your third house, please, please be careful with your commuting, with driving around, as well as like texting. You don't want to text the wrong thing to somebody else. Just slow down, because Mars hates going back. He's still drudging through, and with your communication sector and your commuting, and because you're in a hurry about the schedule, that you don't have time. I just want you to be careful driving. All right, I'm not going to harp on that either. All right. Lastly, many of you are really worried about your finances and security, about a job, and something about, property or relocation. Now, this can include um, shared finances, a mortgage, career, business, um, something like that. And because Uranus has been in your sign, the world for the past, well, since 2018, but most specifically probably 2020, it's been turned upside down on you. I'm laughing with you. I'm sorry, Taurus. I'm laughing with you. I'm laughing with you. It's been a roller coaster ride. It's been a feast or famine type of thing, um, where whether it's been really stressful, or, like I said, feast, where it was surprising things that happened, and that has changed you, changed your image, changed how you are a lot. Many people will say that they don't recognize you, and it could have also changed you physically. Okay, in regards to friends that you have lost, or you're feeling lonely or maybe isolated, you did join this a closer circle of community, maybe more closer knit, that has been supportive of you, and that's going to expand and get better. And don't forget, we're all going through these energies, so that's why maybe there was a drifting away from a special friend, or maybe you just lost touch with them. Um, Now, getting back to finances and security and job, and a business, you did get an opportunity, or maybe more than one, last year, and it was an exciting opportunity. You made a lot of money, or you started something, but it sort of stalled, or it was put on the back burner. And that was because it was Jupiter that was in Gemini, and that's your second house of income. Um, and it's all because Jupiter started going retrograde. All right, but this week Cupido stations direct in Gemini on the 20th, and it that ignites some kind of a passion, and that is in prelude to Jupiter going direct starting February 4th. So um, you'll either start that opportunity up again, or it might be about a new job or a new source of income. And Gemini is the sign of twins, and it rules the third house. So it might be through social media or through a sibling, um, or it could be many things that Gemini rules. But it can be maybe two jobs at the same time, or starting like a business but staying in your job so that you have the financial security until your business takes off. But it's lovely. Jupiter expands everything. So look to a passion being ignited regarding job, income, and your value system. The only thing with Jupiter, I'll let you know that you have the good luck planet here until June before it starts to change signs into Cancer. So you are going to get these opportunities, but with Jupiter, you need to grab them with both hands. It's the type of use it or lose it kind of scenario for that. So I think that's a lot of information, but I feel confident that I covered a lot. But let me just break down the week just to tell you where the intensity is, um, so you're aware. So right off the bat, on Monday, Inauguration Day, we have some heavy duty aspects going on. And I did put up the planetary alignment and the degrees in the very beginning of this video. So you can rewind it to that and take a screenshot if you just skip straight to your sign and then compare it to your natal chart. Um, the other major thing that I did not touch on that I wanted to speak about is this new focus, the shift on something new in our lives, and that comes in right in the beginning on Monday. Sun in the Aquarius will semi-square Saturn in Pisces. The Sun in Aquarius also conjuncts Pluto in Aquarius. The one I'm worried about, fixated on, is Sun in Aquarius conjuncting Pluto in Aquarius. This can be because Aquarius is very, very uplifting and very fast, likes to do things very fast. So this is about your career, your status, your reputation, and authority figures. And I'm not going to get into the different scenarios because it's getting too long anyway, but pay attention to this. It might be that an authority figure is taking you under their wings and uplifting you regarding this really potentially um, lucrative career. And it might be you having to work maybe in a helping field or a technology field or um, in service of something. Um, and Pluto in Aquarius is about power. So this is actually with the Sun here. It is about the show of power and control and being assertive. So if you need to take initiative, you will know how, or you will be advised on how to do it. So that could be good. The bad part could be that there's some control or power issue regarding your career and your status, and this, and with all the people politics that's going on with you, and your health and your routine and everything like that. This might be the Pluto pop quiz. So pay attention to what's going on this week regarding your career and status. If it looks and feels like an uplifting an authority figure is coming through with you, do step into the power they're presenting to you. If it is about the people politics regarding your reputation or status, just, well, how do I say this? With Pluto, it's how you win the Pluto test is discipline, sheer discipline, self-restraint, and accepting what it is so that you can deconstruct it and transform it. But more on that later. This is just really the very early degrees of Aquarius that Pluto's transversing. So yeah, it'll just give you a picture. And you've already had this energy. So think back early January, February 2023. Um, and also earlier last year, rather. You got a taste of it. So you can think about what happened then. And then there's not really a lot of Venus aspects because Venus is your ruler. So that's what I would be looking at. The only aspect that can be intense is Moon in Libra will square Mars in Cancer at 24 degrees. Again, triggering those degrees from back in October. So Libra is your sixth house. of routine, scheduling, um, and house of chaos or taking care of someone. And then Cancer is your third house of commuting on going back. So just be careful again regarding your commute, running back and forth to meet a deadline or schedule. And also, please be careful regarding your communication um, or sending the wrong text. And I already told you about Cupido. Um, and there is a grand cardinal sign that's being set up. So the four cardinal signs are Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. So wherever these fall in your chart, that's the area of your life where you'll feel the intensity, the grand square. So look to your natal chart. Um, but I can tell you, it's your communication, foreigners, or higher education, your scheduling, and your need to be alone or about the past. Let's see, on Tuesday. Okay, so this is important too, and this is a hard aspect as well. Mercury in Capricorn will square Chiron in Aries. Capricorn, again, is your long distance travel, foreigners, and higher education. And then Aries is your 12th house of the past and of secrets. So there's going to be some kind of a reprimand or a serious, stern discussion. And it's going to trigger or bring up an old wound um, from your past. Or maybe you're feeling it through someone else. Um, Maybe you're taking care of someone and they get some harsh news. And then the moon enters Scorpio. That is your seventh house of partnerships. So you're going to start exploring your feelings about relationships. And then the moon in Scorpio will square Pluto in Aquarius. Hard aspect. Moon in Scorpio squares the sun in Aquarius. A harder aspect. And then Saturn in Pisces semi squares Pluto in Aquarius. Yeah. So yeah, tough day Tuesday. Just stay under the covers. I know I will. um, no. So with the commitment issue and your career and status, because status can mean married, not married, single, not single, um, being highlighted here, and your partnership sector being highlighted here, and something about a past wound. And Pisces, friends, it could be a lot of different things, but I think this is the day where um, there's a turnaround, there's a shift. It's as far as we can go with what has already been said and done, and we make some kind of a shift here. But it is about your partnerships and your career and your status, and something about the past. Not much really happening on the 22nd. Venus, your ruler, though, this is important for you, in Pisces, well, semi-sextile Chiron in Aries. So this is very lovely, Taurus. On Wednesday, you do attract a friend, and it might be from the past. That maybe you're talking about this rough thing that you're going through these 2 days on Monday and Tuesday, and they actually help you with this. Sorry about that. They actually help you with this wound or hurt that you have. Um, Thursday is tough too. um, the one I want to concentrate on is Mercury in Capricorn will oppose Mars in Cancer. So the talk regarding your career and status um, is in opposition to something regarding your third house of communication, thinking, siblings, um, and cousins. And some of you do have sibling and cousin issues, so there might be a measured talk response to what's going on with your third house. Capricorn is your foreign house, your travel house, your higher education. Um, well, pay attention to this day, um, because then after that, Mercury in Capricorn will trine Uranus in your sign. So, yeah, with this shift and with making this turn around, um, your ninth house is opposing your communication or a sibling, but then your ninth house will make you feel good about your image, about how you are seen. And these are 23 degrees. So this is again the degrees of October, November, of those battles, of those endings. So with this turnaround, this shift, um, yeah, you might be here coming to a halfway with each other. So and pay attention to this day especially too, because this will let you know how this ends between the this pinging noise in the stairway hallway and this neighbor that just loves to brum with his stupid car. I'm never mind. I had a comment from somebody who said, fix your smoke alarm because that beeping is so annoying. And I was like, actually, it's annoying to me too because it's not my smoke detector. It's this light changer thing in the hallway, in the stairway. and, and then this, oh, never mind. Anyway, the January 24th, then the moon switches into Cancer, and that is your fourth house of home, family, and your parents. And it does do a sextile to Pluto and Aquarius. So actually, whatever you're planning on regarding this career move, the status move, the change, or this new status, it's actually going to be really nice regarding family situation. And then the moon in Sagittarius will oppose Jupiter in Gemini, though. So whatever this career and status is, this new shift, Sagittarius likes to sometimes exaggerate or expand, but it's a very hopeful sign. Um, with the opposition to Jupiter in Gemini, Gemini is a very practical sign. It's the day to day getting things done, and Sagittarius is the year. Like this is what we want to do this year, and Gemini will be like, okay, well, we need to do this on in January, this in February, this. So whatever this vision is of a career and status, which is going to be very beneficial in regards to your home and family. Just try to keep it in reality. It's dependent on your second house being transformed, so a job, income. So that might be that is what is being opposed. Now we do have the asteroid Talent that will sextile Neptune in Pisces on this day as well, and this helps with creativity, talents, spiritual talents, and talents of health. And you are ruled by Venus. You are very creative, actually. So this creativity, and with sextiling to Pluto and Aquarius as well, something about your friends or groups. So you might get this like really ingenious, creative idea for a job or a business. Look to that. And then on January 25th, we do have Venus in Pisces trining Mars in Cancer. Lovely. The week this ends on a very lovely note. Venus, your ruler, is bringing you fortune, fame, riches, love through your friendship sector. And it is actually trining your communication in your commuting sector and your siblings. So this, like I told you, this new close knit community. Maybe if you're single, maybe you meet someone amongst your friends within your community, or it can be if you're partnered, it could be a friend of both of yours that is within your close knit community that has some genius idea, maybe about the internet or social media that can get you into money. So the week ends there, and I'm so sorry. It's who would think a weekly scope would take this long for you, but here you are. I hope I didn't lose you, but I just think it's really, really important, especially with such an important week this week. Just hold on, put on your seatbelts. It's going to be a really bumpy ride this week, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, Taurus, I will talk to you soon. Hi, Gemini. Okay, so this video is your weekly scope for January 19th to the 25th. And the theme for this week is a turnaround, a turning point. So, and then there's new focus about the future. There's something's going to be illuminated about the future. And for you, it's going to be about traveling, about long distance traveling, foreigners, foreign lands, higher education, publication, and the World Wide Web. That would be the new focus that you'll be illuminated on. Excuse me. So this week has some heavy duty, tense, wild aspects, um, and it's giving us a turnaround. Now, a few days, like last week, we had a surprising revelation, maybe a shocking surprise. We There were some heated arguments, maybe fights or something like that. It started out like that, and something was either blurted out um, or and it was Uranus and Taurus. So that is your 12th house of secrets, the past, behind the scenes, taking care of someone. So that triggered the whole tense aspect last week, which gave us a surprising revelation in regards to what happened uh, during October, November of last year. Um, and that was regarding your second house of job, income, and your value system. Mars was in Cancer, and Cancer is that for you. Cancer also rules the home and family, the parents, a living situation, um, and all that good stuff. So there was some sort of a fallout regarding values or job, income, and family. Not to mention your love life or children. Some kind of creativity was being challenged by your 11th house of groups, friends, and associations. And there was also something about your commuting or your communication, maybe. But for most of you, it was about a sibling, some kind of rush to something. In any case, that stirred up a lot of um, dust and a lot of arguments and heat and urgency, um, and a fallout, some kind of an ending or a severing or temporary separation. In any case, last week, that conversation during those things that happened during October, November was sparked by Uranus and Taurus. And like I said, that's your 12th house of secrets and behind the scenes. So, with that argument and spark, there was some kind of a breakthrough, some kind of a realization, an understanding, a compassionate understanding, because you might have ignored that revelation back in October, or maybe something was withheld from you that you did not know. So, Mars is retrograde, and when retrograde planets go back and forth, they bring us back information that we might have missed. And that was the breakthrough last week. So we're going into this week um, with this week is going to be really tense. There's a lot of oppositions and squares and yeah, more drama, 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 drama. But with that breakthrough last week, this week we're going to start discussing things again regarding that. Um, and but this time around, it's going to be a shift where it's going to be, like I said, a turning point. It feels like I've tried everything. You know, there's nothing else to try. So there's a shift in our attitude or in the situation. And we're already starting to feel this because we have a last quarter moon. I believe it's Tuesday. So we are feeling this energy of something is coming to an end, to a close. Now, I will say this is not the end of the story, far from it, because Mars is still retrograde and you are still missing the last piece of the puzzle. So this will continue. And when Mars goes direct, then you get that last piece of the puzzle, and hopefully we all get a resolution. But it is tied to some kind of a compassion, a healing thing that will be coming through. But like I said, yeah, this week it's going to be like, okay, let's move on because there's new energies and focuses coming in. So let's begin with, let's see, where am I? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, the one thing I did want to mention, yeah, that was going on is on the 17th. So we do have the asteroids Juno, Vesta, and Apollo in Scorpio. And Scorpio for you is your sixth house of daily routines, scheduling, your health, your habits, taking care of someone. You're quite busy with that, but uh, you are the messenger of the god, so you are able to quickly shift and adapt and spring from here to there. If anyone can be at two places at once, it's you. Uh, um, so, in regards to these three asteroids, it's some type of a leader, a male figure that's some sort of a leader, and two women vying for his attention. That can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. Um, and it's in your sixth house. So you might be the leader. And like I said, you might be taking care of someone. And there's also something else going on with that. So just be aware of that dynamic because the aspect on the 17th was Juno opposed Uranus and Taurus on the 17th at 23 degrees. That's an important degree because it's something regarding October, November. And more specifically, I think it was this super full moon in Aries. And again, Aries is your group and friendship circle. And most of you have like withdrawn from a group or from friends, maybe of a misunderstanding, um, and you're just contemplating whether to go into that group again, fix it or not, because you are the fix it sign. You like to come in, fix people, prop them up, and put them on their way. um, but Juno is the sign of commitment, and in Scorpio, she's serious. Scorpio is this serious, intense sign. And Scorpio rules the past, secrets, um, intimacy, and things like that. Juno rules commitment, but she was Jupiter's wife, and she had to deal with Jupiter, her womanizing husband. So she was always running around um, because he was after all these women, and but she wouldn't just let it be. She would seek revenge, some type of a revenge. She was a badass. So Juno is serious, and Scorpio is even more serious. And Scorpio knows revenge really well. So the combination of these two is pretty powerful. Um, and Uranus, like I said, in Taurus, it's your 12th house of secrets. There's some kind of a commitment that that is being asked of you, but your 12th house of secrets is opposing it, or because there's something going on in the background or about the past. um, you don't want to commit to this joint finances or intimacy part of your the area of your life. Also, Scorpio also rules like taxes and government benefits, but it is your sixth house of like routines and daily things. Maybe you're taking care of an elderly parent and there's some government benefits involved or something like that. Um, but you don't want to commit to being that caregiver. Like I said, it can play out in many different ways. But yeah, since it's on opposition of these two houses, maybe your scheduling is so hectic that you really want your alone time, or you might be having something going on during your alone time, and it's just not working out with your sixth house of health and routines. If it is a health issue, and maybe it's it's to commit to a health regime, or to like if it is like a health routine, and there's a commitment to a health routine because of a health issue. um, Maybe because you're taking care of someone, you can't like be alone and take care of yourself, whatever it is. um, it does relate back to that super full moon in Aries back in October. And Aries, again, is your 11th house of friends. Maybe you're so busy with friends that you can't commit to this health routine. In any case, that opposition is there, and I just wanted to mention it because it will, when it goes retrograde um, on May 4th, it will come up to this same opposition. Okay, and when it comes up to the opposition, then in May at 26 degrees, it's coinciding with the end of Uranus and Taurus. And Uranus is the planet of shock, surprise, and electricity. And you have had shocks and surprises regarding your 12th house of secrets in the past. And if it has anything to do with commitment or jealousy or something like that, with this opposition on May 4th, if there's any relationship commitments here, um, commitments may break apart with this aspect because it is Uranus, and Juno's quite powerful in Scorpio. So these two energies are just explosive. They might not withstand if there's an issue if, about that. Okay, I just wanted to mention that really quickly for you guys. Okay, so let's start with Sunday. The sun enters Aquarius. Hallelujah. We're done with Capricorn sun. Well, we still have Mercury to deal with. So something is illuminated regarding your travel house, your education, higher education, or publication, or foreign people, um, foreign lands. So you're going to be empowered through either foreigners or travel, and it's going to be through a group or a circle of friends, or it might be a friend, but I doubt it. It's more of a group thing. But there's also people politics involved with this group. Um, in any case, look to some illumination regarding this higher education or traveling business that's going on. Then we have Venus in Pisces, which will semi square Pluto in Aquarius. Now, Venus brings love, fortune, and fame. And Pisces is your 10th house, I believe. Let me make sure. Um, Pisces, yes, it's your 10th house of career, reputation, status, and authority figures. So this house has uh, been romanticized, and Pisces is oddly enough associated with money. So something about your career has been very receptive, very nice, and you're getting some kind of love here or money. But it's with this semi square to Pluto. It's a semi square, but I still mention it because it's Pluto. So your career, your status, maybe you're trying to change it. Maybe you're changing locations or changing concentrations, or something is stuck about a publication. So that might be the tense aspect there. Um, yeah, it's at 16 degrees of Pisces, and then Aquarius at 1 degree. It's really early on with Aquarius. So check your natal chart for that. Now, on the same day, Mercury in Capricorn will sextile Saturn and Pisces. So Capricorn is your um, eighth house. I'm so sorry. I just blanked out. Is your eighth house of joint finances, intimacy, inheritance, again, government benefits. And it's the house where you benefit from other people's money, and usually in lump sums. And you've had that long trek of a journey. It's at times been very, very dark and intense. But here, there's a conversation regarding joint finances or intimacy that is sitting well with Saturn and Pisces. Now, Pisces again is your 10th house of career and status. So you have felt restrictions in this area for the past 2 years. Um, Saturn has just been holding you back or putting up boundaries for you, building you a foundation here. Because before Saturn came in 2 years ago, you were all at sea regarding your reputation or your career and status. And status is married, not married, single, not single. It's a status thing. So, whatever you've decided on or communicated regarding joint finances and intimacy, it is looking favorable regarding your career. If you're changing it, maybe you're getting married and you're going to have a new status, or you might have severed a relationship and you're having a new status as single or divorcee, or single dad, single mom. But joint finances is looking favorable on that. Okay. Now the 20th is where we start to shake, rattle, and roll. Oh my God. Uh, I told Taurus, just hide under the covers, because I certainly am going to hide under the bed. um, yeah, this week is super intense. So we have Moon in Libra, square Mercury in Capricorn. And then we have Moon in Libra, square Mars in Cancer. And then we have the Moon in Libra, opposed Chiron in Aries. Wow. So feelings about a relationship, and it's in regards to your friendship, your friends. Um, and something about intimacy. It's going to be a very heated argument, and it might be about a relationship that was severed or separated back in October, November. Uh, and there's family involved as well, and your value system. Maybe a mother or a matriarch figure. doesn't like one of your friends that's maybe broke up a happy home, or something about your reputation. So you've got heated, tense arguments here, um, and it's about a friend and your career and your reputation. And with Chiron and Aries, I'm sorry, Libra was your fifth house of love and romance. Aries is your 11th house of friends and groups. So when the the moon in Libra opposes Chiron in Aries, something about a love or a child or creativity that stirs up an old wound regarding a friend or friendships. And it might be from 18, maybe 19 years ago, because we had those eclipses in the nodal axis season. That's karma from then. Or it could be just, something from the past that's in your all in your psyche that triggers this wound, this hurt. And not to mention there. Well, before I go on to that, this is when I said there's a turnaround, a turning point. So with knowing what we know from last week, and with this, with these tense aspects, um, here you realize that this has to end, or you've tried everything you can, and you need to put it to bed, or just shift your attitude towards it, because it is bringing up this old wound within you. And when Saturn and Neptune goes into Aries, they'll be helping you deal with that, with whatever is going on behind the scenes, in your 12th house. Or it might be, taking care of an elderly parent. Um, so that's one day that's going on with that. And there is like a grand square in cardinal signs that's forming here. And the four cardinal signs are Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. So all these four areas of your life you'll be feeling it intensely. Again, Cancer is your second house of job, income, and values, and it is also home and family and parents, the mother. Capricorn is your joint finances and intimacy, and government benefits and what have you. Libra is all about relationships, and Libra for you is your fifth house of love, romance, and children. And then, like I said, Aries is your 12th house of secrets and behind the scenes, or taking care of someone. And also, Aries is about image, the image you portray, how it is portrayed, how it is seen. So, yeah. Now, here's where we get the focus of the energy of the new shift to the future. So the sun in Aquarius will semi square Saturn in Pisces. Again, Pisces is your 10th house of career and status, and Aquarius is your foreign people and higher academics and a long distance travel. So on this day, this semi square with Saturn, you are being you either have started something about traveling and foreigners, and it is about a new group, or somebody that's empowering you. Oh my God, here goes with the. Let me shut the dogs up. I'm babysitting. Sorry. No, well, I guess they stopped. And uh, whatever offer that you've been offered regarding this travel, publication, or higher education, it's being illuminated, but Saturn is still trying to constrict something, because this new opportunity might be affecting your career and status and reputation. So this is just a tense aspect here. Now, on the same day, Cupido will station direct in your sign. Woohoo! You've had Jupiter in your sign since last summer, and something about your image, the way you're seen, um, physically and maybe online as well, has been expanding. Um, you're mainly seen as magnanimous. That's what Jupiter does. It expands things, or it could be something about you physically, maybe weight gain or weight loss or something like that, and or maybe you became pregnant if you're a girl. Um, but whatever you started regarding your image, changing your image or what have you, it's sort of stalled and put on the back burner, and that's because Jupiter started going retrograde. So you were reviewing any kind of image change, and right uh, on Monday is where you there is a passion ignited in you again to start this physical change or transformation. You want to Cupido is doing that in prelude of Jupiter turning direct on the 4th. So then you will start again with this image transformation. And you have until June to take advantage of any opportunities. With Jupiter, um, opportunities is use it or lose it. So you have to grab the opportunity with both hands here. But yeah, on Monday, this passion is started. Now, Tuesday is, I think, one of the more worst days. It's worse than Monday. We have Mercury in Capricorn square Chiron in Aries. So, again, some reprimands, some stern, maybe reserved communication, um, which is, again, igniting this old wound of the past. Uh, and then the moon enters Scorpio, and the moon in Scorpio squares Pluto in Aquarius. And then we also have the Sun in Aquarius conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. Well, let me just do the Sun in Aquarius conjunct Pluto. That is just um, absolute power, control, um, assertion. So the Sun is illuminating where the power is in regards to this foreigner or this travel or higher education. And this conjunct can be good because it's like Aquarius is uplifting. So with this illumination here, this reveal, it might be just a group or a friends. They're uplifting you. They're giving you this power. Or it can be abrasive. You might be anxious or scared about something, and it is about asserting your power here. You initiating that you have power, initiating to take like control. But and then when the moon in Scorpio squares Pluto in Aquarius, and also the moon in Scorpio will square the sun in Aquarius. Oh God. I told you, just stay under the bed. And then Saturn in Pisces will semi-square Pluto in Aquarius. Lordy, lordy. So Scorpio is your eighth house of joint finances and intimacy, and like I said, government. Yeah, cut off government benefits. Um, and remember, we have Juno there as well regarding commitments too. So this looks like a group or a circle or friends want to take you on a new journey regarding foreigners or long distance travel, higher academics, and all that. And there's commitments here. Maybe you have a partner, um, and maybe you have children, and just doing this, it's throwing you into where you won't be home as much, maybe, um, or um, or maybe you need to relocate somewhere else. And with intimacy and joint finances, the mortgage, maybe you're looking at selling something and then moving, all that. But yeah, it could be that you are partnered and you have this obligation, this commitment, but you know that this travel opportunity or higher education opportunity will really excel you, thrust you way into the future. And it's just this tensity of trying to make it all work, because with Saturn also restricting you regarding your status and career, yeah, it's just tense here, and you're trying to make it all work. But like I said, Aquarius is about power and control, and it is uplifting. Um, and things happen fast, really fast with Aquarius. So that's why uh, maybe the tensity. Maybe you have a deadline of some sort. But Scorpio is also very fast, but Scorpio tends to wait a long time, and once they've made up their mind, they sprint. So that's why I'm saying this week there's some kind of a shift, some kind of a turning point, because whatever it is with partners, joint intimacy, family, your career, your reputation, and you had that breakthrough last week. Here, it's like, all right, we've gone through these arguments, um, through these oppositions, and it's done. Let's put it to bed and let's go. Let's make it happen. That's the feeling. That's what I'm seeing for you. Of course, like I said, it might not be as intense as I'm saying, because you might be a student and there's something going on with university or choosing a university, and um, maybe something is getting entangled there. So, but there is a shift here. There's a shift, and Grand Square. I'm just looking at my notes. Sorry. All right. So then we move on to Wednesday, where we do have Venus and Pisces, semi-sextile, Chiron and Aries. This is very, very nice, Gemini. So like I said, your 10th house of career status and reputation, Venus has been in here since the beginning of January. So like I mentioned before, or if I didn't, you have seen maybe more money or fame or recognition regarding your career and status and reputation. And whatever old wound that was irritated yesterday or the day before, on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, your career and status here really smooths it out. It gives you some kind of a hope. Uh, there's compassion here again. Um, yeah. So whatever practical, reserved, maybe tense discussion that you had, which triggered that emotional hurt. This here, your career and your status, or an authority figure, um, is is making you feel much better about that. On Thursday, the 23rd, Mars in Cancer sextiles Uranus in Taurus. Okay. So, and then Mercury in Capricorn will oppose Mars in Cancer. Ouch. that's a, that's a, yeah. And Mercury in Capricorn then will trine Uranus in Taurus. Like, make up your mind. It's like hot, cold, hot, cold. But pay attention to this day, as this is the breakthrough, and turnaround. It's something like when you look back, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's when it all changed. There is yet another surprising revelation um, coming about, maybe surprisingly happy. Um, which breaks the intensity of yesterday, and that is triggering again Mars actions in October and November, because these three aspects are all at 23 degrees, exactly the same degrees with whatever fallout was in October, November. Um, and family is somehow involved. Your home, your mother or mother-in-law, um, matriarchal figure. In any case, so that conflict or ending is being smoothed out here. Now, which what you assume to be the case as you make your case regarding your Capricorn house, Mars opposes it, and then reveals that your thinking regarding your joint finances or intimacy is or was not the case. Mercury in Capricorn realizes this as it then trines Uranus and Taurus, your psyche, your thinking, and discussions take a surprising turn. And then we have the Moon entering Sagittarius, your partnership house, um, which Sagittarius is more than happy to speak about hopeful and nice things and look at the bright side. So you're getting feelings. It's the Moon. It's not really Mercury. So there's feelings about relationships here that are going to be optimistic and hopeful. Then on Friday, Mercury in Capricorn, or what did we already does? Capricorn and Mercury trines Uranus. Oh yeah, we already did that. So again, we were talking about the dynamic energy of what had happened as we close down the week. And then on the 24th, the moon in Sagittarius will sextile Pluto and the sun in Aquarius. There you go. Um, and then the moon in Sagittarius will go on to oppose Jupiter in your sign. But this I see this as a good opposition. So feelings about relationships. So this group that is going to be empowering you regarding a travel or foreigner, um, is sitting really well in regards to relationships, your relationships, probably from, yeah, and Sagittarius rules foreigners, higher education, excuse me, and long distance travel. So, but it is your relationship sector. So that's sitting really well with this travel. I think you guys are going to relocate somewhere. If you're not a student, if you're a student, that's obvious. It's about your higher education. But if you're not a student, you are going to be relocating, because that's where the power is, and that's where your future lies. So maybe somebody really close to you is doing that. But it's good. It's hopeful, and it's a futuristic energy. And like I said, this opposition can be good, because because it's your opposite sign of relationships, and both areas here have it in each other's interests to benefit. So mediation or resolve can be the opposition here. Um, if it is negative, um, well, check your natal chart and see where Sagittarius lies in your natal chart and what house it occupies. If it is negative, um, it's not like it's Mars in Sagittarius or a heavy duty planet. It is the moon, and the moon. This will quickly change because the moon changes signs in like every 2 days or so. So this might be a fleeting feeling. But if it is negative, then feelings of a partner is opposing this expansion regarding your image, the way you are seen. But stay tuned, as they say, because that's, like I said, it's a fleeting thing, and we'll look at next week's scope in next week's video. All right, Gemini, if you have any questions, go ahead and put it on the in the comments below. I am answering almost all of the questions. I think all of the questions that you guys might have. And please, I apologize if this is long, but like I was telling Taurus, I don't like to like I don't understand how people can condense such heavy duty aspects in 1 week into like 5 minutes. I can't seem to do that, but maybe I'll try. I don't know. You can leave comments and say this is too long for a weekly, or this is just right, or whatever. But with that, take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon.